Hey there, welcome back. So this is the class which we have coded in our previous video, so there is nothing I have changed. Now in place of extending thread class, we would be making use of the runnable interface in order to create a thread in Java. Now definitely it could be little confusing for you to understand how I have converted it. In order to reduce your confusion, let us get rid of anything which is there in the main method except the creation of the object, and inside this class we have what we say override the run method notation, and then let us also get rid of this count me method. So pretty simple, usual stuff, right? So now there is no confusion. Now in place of extending to thread, we can do one thing. Let me get rid of this. In place of extends, we will type in implements runnable. Alright, and as soon as we do this, it will ask us to override the unimplemented method, which is nothing but the run method, right? Which is very cool. Alright, and inside this run method we will add in our loop. So it would be like for int I equals 0, I is less than equal to 9, I plus plus. Alright, and inside this for loop we will add in a very simple message. Similar to the previous program, the value of I is, we will print the value of I, and the thread number is, we will print the thread number, right? So pretty cool stuff, no rocket science. And now in here, when we create an object of the class, there is a catch. Let me show you. This kind of initialization will not work, in fact. So in here we need to type in thread1 maybe equals new thread, and we need to give a object of the class which implements runnable. So in here I will type in new my counter, and the thread number would be like 1. And this is the way how we create a thread using a runnable interface. So let me paste this once again. I will change the name of the thread object to thread2, and we will give the thread number as thread2. So in here what we say, we will make use of this thread object, and then we can like start the thread. This is cool. Then again we will take help of thread2 object and we will start the thread. Alright, so this is it, and I guess everything is good enough. Now let me execute the program and we should see the output. And if I maximize this, the thread sequence would be jumbled up like 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 2 2. So the sequence would be jumbled up because the sequence is definitely based on the hardware and the JVM, how the things are being handled. And if I execute this program couple of times, I'm pretty sure that the sequence will change time to time. For example, in here, firstly the first thread, second time again the first thread is getting executed, and then many times the second thread is getting executed. So the sequence change time to time, and it definitely depends on your hardware, and the sequence will vary in hardware to hardware again. So that is again a point of caution. So this is it. Now let me also do one thing. Let me show you how we can like add in a sleep mechanism in here, which is not required. In fact, you have already seen it, but let me implement a very simple and interesting thing. So in here I will type in random equals new random. Alright, and we will add in a sleep what we say sleep method call. So in here I will type in sleep. I guess something is wrong. In here I need to type in thread dot sleep, and inside the sleep we will give some random values. So I will type in random dot next int, and the range would be from 0 to 500. So in here I will type in 500. Alright, so this random will what we say return a value which is in between 0 to 500. And now we need to also surround this using try catch. Let me do that, and now everything seems good. Let me execute the program, and here is the output. Alright, so this is cool. Let us proceed further, and let me show you a yet another way. Now, in order to demonstrate the alternate way of using the runnable interface, let me do one thing. Let me comment out these 4 lines of code in our main method. Here we go. Now friends, if you know that you would be making use of a thread only once, then you can do like this. For example, you type in new thread and you make use of an anonymous object. So in here we will type in new runnable, and inside this object we will directly make use of the code which will get executed inside the run method. So for example, in here we run a loop. So in here I will type in for int I equals 1, I is less than 10, I plus plus, and then we will display the value of I, right? And before displaying the value of I, we will, for example, sleep the thread for couple of seconds. So in here I will type in thread dot sleep, and I will sleep the thread for half a second maybe. And now I will also add in a semicolon to end the statement. Alright, so our anonymous thread is ready now. Alright, so there is a issue. Let me surround this with try catch. Alright, so our anonymous thread is ready, but how we can execute a thread where we don't have the handle, we don't have the object using which we can start the thread. So the solution is we can directly type in dot start at the end of the declaration, and as soon as we do this, when we would be creating this object, we will be also executing the thread right away. Let me execute the program, and we would be able to see the output right away. It is taking some time. Here is the output. So now it will wait for 5 seconds. Let me stop this. Let me change the sleep timer to half a second. Alright, now here is the output, which is perfect, right? And we are able to see the output. The thread is executing perfectly. Now friends, if you want the handle as well, then how you can do this? Pretty simple. In here I will type in thread, the name of the thread could be anything, and equals, and then we will make use of this notation. But as soon as we do this, Eclipse will start complaining, and the reason is pretty simple. We are initializing this object thread and we are also starting it. So as soon as we are starting it, we are calling in the start method. We won't be able to receive the handle because the start method will return a void value. This is the reason why there is an issue. Type mismatch, cannot convert from void to thread. So what is the solution? Don't start the thread right away. Get rid of the call to start method and your issue would be vanished. And in order to start the thread, we will simply type in thread.start. And now again, if I execute the program, there would be same output, right? So what is the moral of the story? We have multiple usage of runnable interface. We can either implement the runnable in a class and then make use of the run method and create a thread out of the class, the first way, which we have seen, or alternatively we can create an object of thread class and also declare and define the run method right away. So in here it is very handy, right? Again, or we can alternatively make use of an anonymous object and start the thread right away. So there is flexibility available with what we say runnable interface, and this is the reason why people make use of runnable more than thread class. And definitely runnable interface is good, but there is no specific advantage of making use of runnable or thread class. Both the approaches, by extending the thread class or by implementing the runnable interface, both are good enough. It's personal choice. Now friends, again I am repeating this, that multi-threading programming is comparatively difficult than usual. So if you are not getting it 100% that's okay. You can research more, you can practice more, and you will get by the end of the day. Don't worry about it, and you will get eventually, because we have many more videos. The practice would be enough, don't worry. And try to practice this is important. All right, so this is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and take care.